Get the light on there. Very good. Do a little sound test here. Getting audio. We are not. Oh, there we go. Alright, we got audio now. Game needs boosting, just let me know. We're on to Extreme Evolution. Drive to Divinity. And this game I ran into in kind of an interesting way. And I'm actually going to do a little bit of talking about this game in regards to something cool that I saw. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Just a moment here. Thank you very much, Flame Spark, for the tier 1 sub at 2 months. Don't have time to watch much, unfortunately. Love the work you do to help Visibility Max. Thank you so much. That means a ton. I'm actually going to, tonight's, it's a perfect stream for you to sub on, because tonight I'm going to talk a lot about visibility. And I'm going to talk a lot about, pressors and what's the word? Sorry, I'm scrolling and typing and talking. Pressors and exposure. There we go. Found it. So, I'm going to put a little link in chat here. This is how I came upon this game again. It's a little thing that got put together called the Unearthed Treasure Room, an alternative showcase of overlooked games. Organized by Liz Ryerson and Melos Hantani, two phenomenal people in games. And they kind of did this in response to everything going on that I was just talking about around Summer Games Fest and all that, and how it was a weird time. Give this one a go. So I saw this game with Liz on the GDC show floor this past March. Yeah, so if you meant to catch it, don't worry, it's right here. So I saw this game. It had a booth at IG, or it had a booth at IGN. So this has got a similar conceit, I think, to games like Seventh Cross Evolution, Lack of Love, etc. Where evolution is a driving force. And the premise here is very easy to understand, but very obtuse in execution. You are evolving, and your form is evolving. Forms that are available to evolve become available to evolve into. I'm being born. I've been born. I'm an egg now. Okay, got my stats. You already are an egg, of course. How could I be so blind? This is another game running in Unity and doing absolutely bonkers things that I wish I knew how to do. I've discovered the blip fall. Go now. I'm your brother! I'm your brother! I'm your brother! Put me back, I'm not done! Single cosmic spec. I am now... You can Oh, I have not enough for A, but I needed to become the blip in order to descend. I think I just got 8. The outer divine atrium is available. Okay, I had enough for A. But it looks like I can eat up some other things later. I've discovered the outer divine atrium. Ah, okay. Game's a little loud. I'll take it down. How about now? We good? Cool. Twitch streaming, always an adventure in audio balancing, because nothing is ever normalized, and nothing is ever right. That's okay. I think I'm being assaulted by another egg. I'm being pursued. I think I'm being pursued. There's a word. I'm gonna try going in here. The ideation gland. It's valuable. Important for us to be able to ideate. What should I grab here? There's this thing, and then there's this thing. 1 of 4. I think I should grab this here. Look, the immaterial bird. So I can become look. Oh, I see. So now I can look. That is useful. But I did pay some points for that. You can see I have kind of a meter up on the right, and I can morph into the shapes that I have available to me. But you had a cost. Ooh, crunchy bones. Yum. There's some live tinnitus simulation in the audio right now. Discovered the crunchy bone. Prayer temple. Oh, we got Sonic Adventure movement. Bowl, the man-made ball. Oh, this took me over the edge. I died. Falling forever. Try that again. Let's try crunchy bomb. It is amazing to me how the semiotics in this game are completely inscrutable. Might need the prayer temple. Yeah, this looks like a real video game-ass video game. Yeah, the semiotics in this are simultaneously completely inscrutable and delightfully intuitive. I know what I need to do, and I know how to restart. You know, the game doesn't give you the kindness of manually respawning you when you fight it. You have to know how to do that. But I kind of just figured it out. There we go. The blocky organ. I do not yet have the bowl available to me, I don't think. Let's stay here for now. I think there's more things to be done. Oh, let's see. Can I get the bowl? Not enough for the bowl. Oh, the bowl is expensive. I have mere fractions of what is required for the bowl. So I might have to go onwards. Try the blocky organ. But yeah, this was one of the games showcased on this this alternative direct that Liz and Melos put together. This one that I linked in the chat. Yeah, the one that Melos did, and Liz Ryerson. They collabed on this, and this was all specifically. Ooh, Ouroboros wedge. Oh no. Let's see. And I love the weird. I love the. It is a circle. The records were suddenly destroyed or transmuted into this. Heralds of deleted theology. Our labs decoded the message. It was obviously the exact same. I love the non-linear progression and how chaotic it is. I think it suits the theme really well. Oh. That's weird. Thank you for the ritual. Thyroid. I need a thyroid. Those are important. But all the games featured in this showcase. I'll link again. These were all games that were have been on Steam and are specifically under a certain amount of reviews, or just generally overlooked. And it was interesting that they were from, you know, the past 5 years or so. But it seemed as if trendiness or newness was much less of an important factor, rather than that they feel contemporary and fresh. And we're all, of course, created by independent creators. I think I cannot do this one. I think this one might be beyond my simple ball and auto. The automobile. That is also far beyond. I cannot afford a car. I have but 0.7 funny points. That requires full funny points. Let's go to the Chunk Temple. Oh yeah. Yeah, Chunk. But I'm starting. My forums are getting a little pricey. Yeah, this is a video game. So a video game this inscrutable, right? How do you sell something like this? How do you sell it as a product? The concepts here being explored are just. Oh! I got a big old bite. Now I can be a bowl. Oh, I got stuck. Yeah, I do love the whole stat spread on these guys too. Yeah, how would you even sell this? And I guess that's kind of the interesting thing about this direct, or I guess showcase, as you call it. Nintendo doesn't have a monopoly showcase. I'm gonna go back a couple of. Looks like there's something here for me. I feel like games like this are made for a very specific sort of person, but are kind of like inherently really hard to market to the average gamer. That's true. Then again, Whitetail, we are in the post-gaming age. And that's entirely the crux. By creating a showcase dedicated to the undersold and the undervisited, is it possible to turn that into a market in and of itself? It's all about the context. The context of these games are all overlooked and are all doing something interesting. And they are your favorite game developers' games. Because that was one of the things that was really cool about the showcase, is that each individual game was presented by a different developer. Let's go. The Thyroid. Crunchy Bone. Let's go back to Crunchy Bone. Like this and Fragrance Point, which I ran last time, are so nigh intangible. Haha, I'm back. Whee! That's fun. I got stuck. Let's see, yeah. There's a lot of games that the general abrasiveness is actually kind of a selling point. If you can manage to get your game out to enough people, you can find an audience. I feel like Cruelty Squad really managed to hit the sweet spot there, and Cruelty Squad is a great example of why we're in the middle. We're in this kind of, the post-gaming age, and we're still kind of figuring out how to delineate. Because the reason Cruelty Squad was able to do it, I think, when all these others weren't, is really quite simple, and that's because Cruelty Squad was a first-person shooter. And we know how to sell first-person shooters. We know how a first-person shooter is, since we've been limited to this kind of genre-based communication, we know how to sell first-person shooters. And so obviously, you can say, oh, it's a first-person shooter that looks like this. How would you describe mechanically? How would you sell this game? It's a what? A roller? An evolver? Platformer? It's not really a platformer. I wouldn't call it a platformer. Dang it. So there's the problem. And the proposed solution from... Well, this is just one example of Liz and Mellows with this presser was, we're going to gather all these things up, and the thing that these games all have in common is that they are enjoyed by creators whose stuff you might be familiar with. And this is their recommendation for something to look. And so that ties in with something that people are already familiar with, which is, oh, I'm a fan of this person's work. And that, in turn, is able to influence their ability. There we go. Hey, that's what I wanted, I guess. That, in turn, is a reference point and go, oh, if I like this person's work, I'm going to take this recommendation. And that is the power of curation, and why curation is what we're going to have to build in a mature sense. If we want a way out of this. And part of the reason why I wanted to use this as an example is because that's exactly what I'm trying to do with Aqua in my own way. If you build an ecosystem where people know the kind of vibe to expect, and in the case of this, it's not so much about the vibe as it is about the cultural value. But the cultural value to expect here is something that somebody you respect considers a hidden gem and is solidly independent feeling. When people hear that and establish that association with your presentation, if you do it year after year, then they're going to go, okay, cool. That's what I come to this for. Creating those kind of spaces culturally, the way I compare it to like gaming and like genre-based sales and genre-based taxonomy is like cell mitosis. The gamer, up until this point, has been a single-celled organism. And the shape of that cell is defined by genre. Yeah, we're not living on wholesome drugs. That's true. But I will say, as much ire as the Wholesome Direct can attract, it does also understand what it's about. When people go to the Wholesome Direct, they go, oh, I want a game that I can play to feel feelings of domesticity or comfort, a game where challenge, failure is not exactly challenge and failure is not exactly going to be the thing that determines my experience. And so, even if it's not your thing, Wholesome Direct has that figured out. And they're crafting a space for that. Now, is that space a bit oversaturated right now? Perhaps. Perhaps it is. I respect Wholesome games because it is, like, you know, employee or you know, member owned and explicitly queer, and so I respect all of that very much, even if it's not necessarily my jam. Wholesomeness as a cultural quantifier, well, nice try. You almost got me on that one, didn't you? Wholesomeness as a cultural quantifier, well, I think that's a little bit different, and I think that I have historically been critical of this. But that's my opinion on, you know, what wholesomeness means from a culture standpoint versus what I think of Wholesome Games, the organization. And those are two different things. I have a lot of respect for Wholesome Games. Oh, there's a thing down there. I didn't even notice that. But when people look at Wholesome Games or watch a Wholesome Direct, they know what they're going to get. When people... so close. When people watch this Direct, and if they do it again in the future, or this showcase, I have to stop saying Direct. When people watch this showcase in the future, they know what they're going to get, which is recommendations from creators they respect. It's like, you know, hidden treasures. That's what it's in the name. And that, of course, hooks into, well, what makes a game Aqua Lounge? I talked about that a little bit last time. And I intend to go into it in a bit more detail in a YouTube video for it. Aha! Give me that. Yum, yum, yum. I love tasty things. I'm gonna try one of my new forms. Let's be the bowl. Oh, look at that! Look at that bowl. He's a new big guy about town. Can he roll up surfaces? So with Aqua Lounge, the big question is, well, what makes a game Aqua Lounge? I talked about that a bit last time, and I'm going to make a video about it. But I guess I wanted to bring this showcase up as an example of other people who understand the problem of where we are at right now, and understand what means, you know, the need for a solution. Some other stuff. Cultivation stage. Spiral ventricle. Now compare that focused, you know, the what and the why. This is something that understands the what and the why. Why am I looking at this, and what will it give me? I am looking at this because, oh, yeah, there are orbs. Welcome, Centorama. There are indeed orbs, cosmic orbs, existential orbs, orbs of evolution and morphing chaotic life. This is very much up your alley. Let's go to the cultivation station again. Oh, can I get to the spiral ventricle? I might be able to get up there. I'd have to do a little bit of schmovement, as they call it. And then roll. Oh. Yes! Let's go to the spiral ventricle. Just took some schmovement. Again, much like Fragrance Point, although this is a little bit more I wouldn't say open-ended, but intentionally loose by Taurus Hoop. It's a little bit more intentionally loose than Fragrance Point was, because Fragrance Point gave the illusion of being intentionally loose, but was in fact extremely tight. This is intentionally loose, but that is really a good fit thematically. But, you know, it's however you get there. And that fits with the theme of evolution in this game. However you get there, it's how you got there. And this is beautiful. The scale of this fall is really nice. Well, I did miss the big temple. Now I'll put it back up there. And this is giving me lots of tasties. Oh, good. And now I can drive an automobile. I think the loading screens are functional. They hang. But yes, the what and the why. I'm going to link that showcase once again where this game was featured, this and many other games. The what and the why of the showcase are, the why is I am looking for games that are off the beaten path. And the what is I'm going to find those recommended by people that I know. With wholesome games, the why is I want a game that's going to make me feel cozy, it's going to make me feel feelings of peace and gentle curiosity, of gentle distraction perhaps, and you know, being occupied in that pleasant way. And the what is I'm going to get games about that made from independent, often queer developers. And I know I'm going to be getting that like kind of farm to table. No pun intended. So the why of Aqua Lounge has been established. It is, I want to see what the cutting edge of how video games are evolving in response to gaming as a monolith kind of stopping working. And I want to do that with a sense of style and a vibe that I jam with. Regarding the what, well, that's what I'm going to make the video about. Did I miss the big temple? I did. I missed the big temple again. And the heart. How did I get there? A little bit of a spoiler. The bouncer may appear in Aqua Lounge, the what? Oh, there we go. The bouncer may appear in Aqua Lounge, the what? Thought I'd let you know that. Yeah! Oh my God! The bouncer. Who has the bee emoji? Or emote. This is an available username with the bee emote. Can I add... I am a Twitch grandpa. Can I add that to my Twitch? I want to add that. I wonder what happens. I'm going to become a car. I am now a car. I don't know how to move. There we go. Oh, the car can go pretty fast. The car goes forward automatically. What does prayer do? Oh my God. I don't think that's what I want. What about the ring? The ring is still gravity bound. Well, I don't quite get out there yet. That's mysterious. Oh, I have to go up. I see. I cannot do that. So I think I have to come back here. Let's go back to the chunk temple. Alright, let's go to the thyroid. Thyroids are important. That's the ring that does stuff with Gil is dope, does stuff with Thor high heels. Its name. Oh, Giller, yeah. Oh yeah, Thor is... I think I would probably consider Thor friend of the lounge. Thor is, of course, it's massive. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today without Thor. Me too. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes it is like this. Automobile, help me out. Pick me up the wall. Whoa! No. The automobile is hard to control. He's too fast. He's too fast. He can take me up this ramp, but I think I have to go back to egg mode. Alright. It's time for the auto to carry me the rest of the way. Nope. I'm trying to car up the pillar. Carring up the pillar is like if Hot Wheels was lining up a torpedo. Use these trails kind of indicators to my alignment. Nope. Can't car. I think car is a little... I cannot turn the car. I do not think the car is capable of turning. I think once the car goes, it goes. I have not yet tried the chunk. I am now a chunk. Well, I don't know what I expect. Oh! I think I know what I need to do. I need to be the chunk. I have to go back to the, where was I? No, it was the spiral ventricle. I have to be the chunk. I have to be the chunk and I have to break through the wall. I have to go down these stairs and I have to be the chunk. It's chunk time. Oh no, I'm stuck in the stairs. I have a feeling this is gonna work. Gotta get the momentum. Chunk it. He's gonna take me through the wall. I feel it, everybody. Being the chunk immediately kills your momentum, which is interesting. Oh, no, it was not the chunk. I thought it was the chunk, but I was mistaken. I was relying too much on traditional semiotics there, I believe. Go back to the ideation gland. Glad I could catch my favorite implementation of the Blit short story. Could you elaborate on that? I don't know the Blit short story. This might just require some vision platforming to do anything. No. That's the one where a kid is spray painting some... Oh yeah! The crashing people's minds. Like, that's where like the whole basilisk concept comes from. I remember that. There we go. Just a little less timidity. Never hurt anybody. Let's go out this way. What's through here? I have know it can get you up there. The auto can get... No, not the chunk. The auto can get me up there. Beep, beep. Oh, come on. Not even the auto. But yeah. If there can be a showcase for games like this that are intentionally inscrutable, there can be a showcase for games that are intentionally inscrutable that works. I think that's a real indicator of how we're going to have to take things in the future in order to avoid stuff like what just happened at Summer Games Fest. Because what just happened at Summer Games Fest wasn't great. What just happened this week wasn't great. There were a whole bunch of games that debuted. There you go, yummies. Yes. Tasty. That one funny guy said, yummers. That one shows. I know I always go on like tangents 5 layers deep and stuff, but I don't know. I think that suits the game. Feels like something that would get that. Give me this one. Oh, I need to do them all in sequence. There we go. All clear. Well, I like these ominous men. Oh, you know, Whitetail. I don't know if you were here for the. Were you here for the first half? Or you come in later? Crunchy bone time. No, I already was at Crunchy bone. Well, no. Did you come in talking about the stream? Yeah, kind of a new age of Unreal Engine brown and gray, except in golden orangey tones. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly right. That and just how many games are in. We're seeing, as I talked about with the whole, you know, my positing of the post-gaming age, we're seeing this sort of narrowing of the funnel as apex predators are... Now, let's see the bull. You can't boss me around as the bull. You get out of here. This guy thinks he's hot. He thinks he's hot stuff. Look at him. Nothing moves the bull. Oh, there are cars in here too. Look at them. Look at all these little cars. The auto population. Yes, I'm gonna have to narrow that one down. Sorry, it's hard to narrow it down when you're being assaulted by a little ball. I'm just trying to get into this thing, see what it has for me. What do you have for me? Earth. That's a good one. Trying to carry me? Trying to carry me to the earth? Oh, I might have to come back here later. Let's start at the very beginning. Well, Blipfall, Radiation Gland, Crunchy Bone, Spire Ventricle. Sure, the Prayer Temple. Yes, the FPS man in his stupid hat. I'm not even going to give him airtime. He can pay for his own. He certainly has been. I've been getting ads for his stupid game nonstop, even before Summer Games Fest. So he can go sort that out. But yes, if we are in the post-gaming age, which we are, and we are at a point where the apex predators are starting to experience kind of a megafauna extinction event, then this is an example of how that's happening and what it's going to look like. Games are not only starting to look like one another out of graphical necessity, but some people posited that they're only getting greenlit. These games are only getting greenlit because of they're only getting greenlit if they look like one another. That, you know, visual aesthetic and like looking at a glance is starting to narrow down what publishers are willing to fund. And if that's the case, we got to run. We got to figure something else out now because we're already. Oh no, there's a man. Oh, what a wretched beast. Also, I am certain that this game looks either awful or wonderful with 8 megabit Twitch video compression. Yummy, yummy. Tasty. Tension gap. Whoa, I got whacked. Got whacked with a cube. But yeah, if that's the case, we're already entering the part of the post-gaming age extinction event where we're in kind of an aesthetic death spiral, where iteration becomes visual iteration and identity iteration becomes impossible due to the costs soon, and it just becomes an endless cycle of regurgitation in a fully reactive way rather than feeding upon other sources. This is what's happened with forms of pop media like pro wrestling and comics-driven media for a long time. And just like I say this with comics, you know, I don't say that their comics are dead and worthless. You know, on the contrary. You know, let's be the bull. Bull whacked around a little bit. Comics aren't dead, on the contrary. There's all sorts of interesting comics coming out all the time, but economically it's kind of like reached this weird stall out where you're either expected to do everything yourself, be angry and be content with being, you know, hand to mouth, or if you want to get signed by a major label, you have to do like one of 4 pre-acceptable things that were defined during a period whose paradigms were defined during a period of economic prosperity that's now like 40 years out. Like, not, 40 years out. Like 1985? Yeah. An era of economic prosperity is like 40 years out. And that's just been going like a skipping record. Decades and decades and decades now. It's true that it's kind of spread to other forms of media, but the problems remain. Look at the performance of something like, you know, people were talking about Marvel fatigue, and it's like, oh, Marvel fatigue is made up. Superhero fatigue is made up. The Fantastic Four is selling amazing pre-order numbers after, I believe, Thunderbolts, the Marvel movie that people actually like, did not, from what I gathered and what I read, it did not do particularly well at the box office. Yay! Look at that. Thank you. Give me that yummy big old tube. Yum, yum. Oh! Can I turn up mic, turn down game? Absolutely. Let me get mic up. Alright, mic is up as high as it's going to go. I'll turn down game. Sorry, this game's volume's a little all over the place. Is that a little better? Cool. Thank you. Yeah, quality eating sound. Right. Yeah, I was talking about comics. Comics had a real period of economic prosperity defined in the 1970s and 1980s. Got oversaturated, had a bunch of, you know, economic paradigms that were defined while there was enough money being thrown around for things to make sense. And ever since that time, we've kind of just been spinning. Oh, I can't get up there yet. I can't get up there yet. Can I even think of how to get up there? Can I go up here? Oh, I can. Give me the ball. Whee. Give me the launch, please. Whee. Yeah, the comics loop is what I'm trying to say. And it's true that, you know, we've come off of a 2-decade period where comics have dominated Hollywood film. But that's really just taking one set of issues. I wonder if some of this art is like public domain medieval art being used for the walls. It could be. Yeah, like this Ouroboros, a lot of stuff like that. The Outer Railway. Ouroboros. Yeah, but that sort of thing, it's happened in comics, it's happened in pro wrestling, where it becomes an entirely reactive chain of this Ouroboros. We're in the Ouroboros dimension, we're talking about an Ouroboros problem, where the head is eating the tail because the head is the consumer who only requests the same flavor as the tail, and the tail is determined by the growth that comes from the consuming head. When you have a monoculture grow to a saturated size, and the economics of your cyclical business, your cyclical economics prevent you from proper mitosis, splitting of cells, that's what happens. There you go. I'm going to go to the Outer Railway. What's wild is comics films have a hard time trying to fit the same spiral with serious films, even if they're unserious, so it's equally just looped in a different medium. Yeah, it really kind of is. And the exemptions to that, like people were talking about Fantastic Four and how it's doing really well compared to Thunderbolts. Excite. Let's go. Only ball and up, which I don't have. I am already up. What is going on? This is like a nightmare. This is an actual ass nightmare. I think I know what I need to do though. Yeah, I know what I need to do. Dang. Oh no, I just need to get across. There we go. Got it. Nice. Only... Oh, these are like trials. Yeah, I find this game kind of visually disturbing. So do I. But I kind of dig it. Only tine and trunk. Truck. I think truck is the evolved form of the... Truck is kind of the evolved form of the... Okay, it is a good honk there. Trunk must be flung. I have been flung. Oh, I see. The tine is, I see. I'm doing a little gravity maneuver here. No, the tine is flinging me. Momentum. It's flinging my momentum. and I can kind of navigate. Kind of. There we go. So I can vaguely navigate at the time. Yes, the tine can orbit. So I'm slingshotting as the truck, and I'm moving through space with the tine. The truck can brake. It is very slow. Yeah, this is a little gravity puzzle. The fact that it reminds me of oh, what does it remind me of? There's a specific game this reminds me of where everything you can be can only do one thing. In a way, yes. This and Ball & Wonder World are in the same genre. And this is why genre communication, or genre classification of video games is futile. This is a Ball & Wonder World-like. Or, yes, this game is closer to Ball & Wonder World than anything I have played before. Good God. That was brilliant. Thank you, Whitetail. That's a free video essay for somebody out there. This game is Ball & Wonder World. Ah, so close. Yeah, and that's exactly the point of, like, I was talking about discoverability, the sort of deterministic megafauna end state, and Ouroboros narrative. Oh, come on. So close. The Ouroboros narrative of stuff like comics, and how when you get to an audience of a certain size that needs to split because it's saturated, and its identity can't really naturally ideate under the weight of the thing, like something like the pro wrestling fan base, then you either end up in a death spiral or you split. And there are examples of modern pro wrestling successfully splitting. I think Japanese pro wrestling, like New Japan and Joshi stuff, is a great example of how wrestling communities are not, all the same thing. Aha! Got it! Yeah, look at that. Oh, Bomp and Chunk. The Bomp. I am the Bomp. I would like to go back out of this place, though. I'm enjoying these, but they're a bit tense. Turn to the blocky organ. And then I gotta wrap it up, probably, because it's getting a little late. But yes, the fact that This game has more in common with Balan Wonderworld than anything considered, I don't know, an indie platformer. By the current measures of how we classify, and by extent, how we curate games or how we discover games, is such a damning indication of the insufficiency of the current system. That this was in fact the perfect game to run for reasons I didn't even know until I played it. Anybody who looks at this game can understand, of course it's not like Balan Wonderworld. But if you tried to describe it mechanically, that would be the closest point of comparison. Mechanics are insufficient, and since gaming is entirely mechanics focused, kind of ludocentric as I call it, gaming is insufficient. Hence, the post-gaming age is here, and hence, why things like the showcase that I just linked in chat at the beginning of this Did I say I was closing up shop? No. I said probably should stop streaming for the night because it's getting a little late. I just gotta reach my conclusion, you see. There we go, deck that ball. Yeah, this the showcase that I just linked. How, as we're feeling out what comes after the gamer as the dominant paradigm of people who play games, the two things we need to ask are what and why. This has both the what and the why. This showcase. The what being, or the why being, I want to find things off the beaten path, and the what being, these are games off the beaten path recommended by my favorite creators, so I have a, or my favorite developers, so I know I have a point of reference. And the Summer Games Fest felt so bankrupt because it has a what, but it doesn't have a why. The why is too big. It's trying to all-encompass the why, and if you try to do that, you end up beholden to the sheer scale and weight of a monoculture. And that's what this whole damn thing's about. That's what this whole damn experience is about. That's what Aqua Lounge is about. It's a journey to try to figure out how that'll work and to craft what, you know, kind of an experiment in crafting. Okay, here's what we're doing. I'm going to build a what and why of my own, based on things that I find important. Cultivate that from a scene point of view, from a culture point of view. Culture first. See who shows up and see what we can do with it. When I said in the relaunch video that Aqua Lounge is one of many, but it is one of a kind, that's what I meant. This is also one of a kind. It is what I just showed, that showcase, it is not Aqua Lounge. This game is a good fit with Aqua Lounge because of my kind of principles of what makes a game Aqua Lounge. But not everything there was Aqua Lounge. But that's okay. Because it's not about Aqua Lounge being the way. It's about discovering what the way might look like. And in all the pieces and parts and individual little cells that this big monocell organism is going to have to split into in order to continue to grow. And that's my June soapbox about. I hope that all made sense for people who were hanging out the whole time. In conclusion, culture is cool, and games are not really culturally sufficient as they stand for games to grow. You either see yourself live on to become many lovely little subgenres, sub-scenes, and sub-communities, or you live on to find yourself become Jeff Keighley, going on about how wonderful it is that games that sell lots of copies and look good can be made for less money, and how wonderful that is. With everybody, death's borehole. Let's go. And everybody in the business applauding how you can do more with less because they want to spend less and make more. And that will just be inevitable. And that's no way to have a culture. Oh, that's where I use the ring. Let's see the ring. The ring. The ring. There we go. Look at them go. Yum, yum. When you can go back up, it's cute. It's very satisfying to use the ring. Death's Borehole? I thought we were done with Summer Games Fest. Hey! Yeah. Jeff Keighley, Death's Borehole. Yes. Sometimes the beauty of these things is truly emergent. You'll never know unless you play a new game and try something new. Speaking of which, I'm going to link chat. If you like this game tonight, go ahead and buy it. Go ahead and buy it on Steam. If you like this game tonight, consider looking at that showcase, whose link I no longer have. That I would... Melos Hantani and Liz Ryerson's Hidden Treasures showcase, I believe it was. Because you'll probably find more games you like in there from people who you might know. And next time, you don't even have to tune into Summer Game Fest, because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The games matter, but the fest doesn't matter. Because the fest doesn't know what it's about. The Hidden Treasure Showcase knew what it was about. So if you're feeling bad, and things don't quite feel right, particularly with the launch of Switch 2 and how financially inaccessible that is for a lot of people, that might be why. And this feels like just as good a place as any. Leave it off for the night. So, in conclusion, this was my first of what I'm calling my soapbox streams. I've kind of split. I'm doing, for those who aren't familiar, I'm kind of doing my three times a month streaming, at least for me. Again, still kind of on the ambient lookout for more people to stream with me on Aqua Lounge, and I'm going to try to continue that. Continue that search. The three I have are Retro Wednesdays, Indie Sundays, and a monthly soapbox to talk about stuff like this, because I feel like, you know, current events and kind of how people are feeling is very important to the post-gaming age and the discovery of the shapes they're in. So, depending on how you liked it, if you're not a member already, head on over to the aqualounge.tv Discord. You can leave some thoughts in the suggestions channel. How did soapbox format go first time? What would you like to see in it? Was I incoherent? Did I make a good point? Go in there and make your voice heard if you haven't already joined. And of course, if you don't want to miss those Retro Wednesdays or Indie Fridays, you can always go to aqualounge.tv/calendar, which is also in that link tree. Add it to your phone, add it to your Google Calendar, however you keep track of the multitude of events in your life. And you'll never miss an Aqua Lounge stream again. Or at least you'll never miss that it was happening. I wonder if I have to be the car for this. No, not the choice. Car. Oh, I have no, do I still have the auto? I do. Left bumper. It's true. To an extent, any industry, any artistic industry in capitalism is bankrupt, but I think there's also some relativity of scale there. GDC? What about GDC? Oh. I think Summer Games. Yeah. GDC is a weird one, but I talked about that a couple streams ago. I was back in March. I got back. Or was it April? Anyway, you can find it. Another thing I should mention. youtube.com/aqualoungearchives. Oh, that is not found. That URL is not correct. There we go. youtube.com/aqualounge.tv archives. VODs have been going up. A lot of you have been asking, where are the VODs? There are the VODs. And they're scheduled out for a fair bit yet. So you'll be able to catch them. Ooh, nice. I'm very glad that this is getting bit crushed. Because otherwise, known accelerating downer. And with that, I believe going to be it for the night. Thank you all for coming, and thank you so much for the subs this time. There were a lot of subs today, probably some of the most I've had in a long time. It was really meaningful. Thanks for checking this out. And again, if you liked what you saw here today, you can check out this game and tons of others in the showcase that I got this from, organized by Eliguro, as Liz Ryerson, and Melos Hantani, just the other day. I'm going back to get that link one more time. The Unearthed Treasure Room, that was it. Check this out. Yep, thank you for spamming the Gay Dolphin. Oh, thank you. Holly Hollow-Tones was here. Thanks for hanging out all the way to the end. Thank you for coming. Much appreciated. Well, with that, folks, time to hit the hay. I got a sweet potato in the toaster oven that's been sitting for an hour, and that's probably just right. Have some dinner and some water if you haven't. There's lots more video games from coming up now and into the future. But it's dinner time. Catch you later, folks. We'll see you on Wednesday, June 18th, for Retro Wednesday. If it's not in your calendar, go to that link tree, and it'll take care of it for you. Good night, folks.